Yo, what's up? Salud, salud, salud. Welcome to the open
Salud.
bar.
Salute.
They caught me slipping. I was, I wasn't paying attention. Yo, what's today's date, Dave?
3/23. Today, 30 years ago today, I had my first child.
You got a 30-year-old?
Today. Wow.
Oh, your son's birthday is today?
My daughter.
Or your daughter? Oh, yeah, she's having a cookout this weekend. I'm booked.
Hey, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
I'm just kidding.
She
Yo,
30. She ain't gonna miss you. She ain't miss you the other 29 years.
Exactly.
I know. I mean, she finally saw you after 10, so, she come in.
Oh my God.
I'm just joking. Yo,
Can you say
congratulations.
deadbeat?
He said, "Can you say deadbeat?" Dave, that's one person I would say. He got what, 8, 9, 7 kids. That is not a deadbeat dad.
Nah, he's not.
He takes every good care of all his kids, including mine.
He been there for all those kids.
You got your kids calling him daddy.
Exactly.
You know what? I resented that behind you too. That she always liked you more than she liked me, and I didn't appreciate that. And I always held that in, but I didn't appreciate that at all.
I mean,
I raised my daughter, but she likes you.
you
better.
also whipped her too.
I beat the hell out of her because she was getting out.
He's still putting his hand.
No, I would never hit her now. I just tell her to get out.
But I appreciate the confession tonight though. Like you
What?
really was in your feelings
I
though.
was.
Hey,
told
the
Dave,
wine is the truth serum
I
tonight.
told Dave, my daughter loved, and she loved my brother more than she loved me. And I was a good dad.
Well, everybody love me more than they love you. Come on now. let's
Only
be
food. But I'm saying, I was a good dad, I thought. And my
honest.
daughter, like everybody else.
No,
better.
you're a better uncle than you are dad.
Oh, yeah, well, whatever. I'm a good dad.
well, especially because
But
Aaron probably loved you the most.
It's probably reversed all the way around, right? The nephew's gonna love the
my
uncle
kids-
more.
No, not with my kids.
Dave's
They
kids
me
love
more.
Ron.
Whatever, Dave kids.
Now they be also talk about Ron too,
They don't-
especially,
oh,
in,
they-
Not that they're older though.
especially in his outfits.
Oh, hey, you see, she posted. Oh, I love the outfit.
I mean,
you didn't
went
see
on.
what you didn't see what she texted me though.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I have an eclectic style. I mean, I every now and
Hold
then
on,
I
though.
make my own clothes.
Why you
so.
just didn't wear a blazer with them jeans?
See, I don't like the cameras. I'm still. Thank you.
They
Miss
look
Yiggy is
like
in the
they
building.
look like for a woman. That's right. I'm pretty sure you do like them.
These are men's jeans that I got in all colors. I
Just
got a red
because they
stripe.
make them in
Yo,
your size,
don't say
doesn't
you got
mean
all
they're
colors.
I
for
do.
you.
You
I
got
got
all
all
colors?
colors.
Oh my lord.
I got a red stripe. I got a blue stripe.
Oh, you said the stripes.
The stripes are different colors.
But
yeah.
why rhinestone?
I have black.
We
why
got it.
rhinestone?
Why not?
That's
I mean,
rhinestone?
why you have that on? I mean, we
I have
do what
black
we
on
do.
basic. You know what I'm saying?
See, you basic. I'm not. So it's a big
That's
difference.
true.
I mean, hey,
I'm just
But you got, them skinny. You got
These
like.
not skinny. These
I
are
say you
No.
should be skinny the way.
well, the way they fit, they look like
He
they
said-
they stretch pants.
Do y'all really like? We're not gonna go on me today. Anyway, I had a good weekend. Y'all had a good weekend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was
I had a good weekend, man.
I mean, yeah.
I did a lot. So I went to a small little
I worked.
game night, and I've never done this before in my life. I won spades 11 times straight. I stayed on that floor the whole time. So
Your team kept winning?
me and my partner, we won. We beat 11 games straight. I went to the party. All I stayed was at the spade table. So it was crazy
The whole time.
the whole time.
Okay.
So it was like. So I'm proud of myself. I should play
Hold
the
up.
lottery.
You won 11 times straight.
Open bar. Huh? I won. I was me and my partner 11 times straight. So
How y'all? First of all, it takes too long for you.
we
to
only
get
Wait,
played
wait,
because there was
played
more people
250?
coming, so it was like 250 a game.
Okay.
Y'all ran to Boston anytime?
I ran to Boston 3 times. We what you call it? Bumped somebody twice. 2 teams twice.
Right, I don't even got you paying attention that long
That's
to
what
play
I'm saying.
spades.
Your
I'm a
attention
very-
span.
I'm a-
your
I'm a
attention
hard-
It
span
seemed
is
like you would
short.
check out and
I'm
be
a
like,
hardcore spades person.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
we actually been playing spades since
Since
we
we
was
were
like
like 10.
6,
And
7.
then I went to.
I mean, but this
HBCU
dude
too.
still never. That's why he told you 11 times straight. This is first time, and he's 56. I'm just saying. He ain't been playing since he was
Man.
6.
Right. Anyway, I did good on my spade game, so that's what I did. I'm kind of excited about that.
okay, facts.
Yo,
I'm proud of you, brother.
You funny. Yo, we got a long, great show today. Of course, we got a special guest is in the building. Miss Yendi is gonna.
For sure.
Yeah,
Hey,
boy, I tell
hey,
you.
hey.
We got Tina and the crew up
And
in
Tone.
the building. And
Tina and
Tina
Tone.
and Tone is in the building. They hanging out, and Sharice might come in. do a little hot topic.
All right.
It's a ladies' show tonight. We're gonna do our thing.
It's still International Women's History Month, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
Is it?
It
Is
is.
it?
A few more days.
March.
So since we in the mood talking
Longer
about
than Black History Month. Women get more respect than black people do.
exactly, but since we still in the mood talking about women, of course, hot topics. Might as well go right into a few real quick. This weekend premiered the movie Aretha Franklin's movie. Didn't y'all see that?
Oh,
I did
no.
not see it.
I
No.
did not see it. No.
Oh, let me tell y'all, I learned so much about Aretha and got so much more respect for her.
Who's playing Aretha?
Oh God, y'all always put me to the spot. So
You didn't do your homework.
Actually,
Once
the
again.
lady that's playing is the lady that played Harriet Tubman, right?
she played Harriet Tubman, the one
really?
that played in Harriet. She did it. This woman did an excellent job. I'm
Didn't
sure,
see that either,
I'm
so
sure
I don't know.
I'm sure Nikki's gonna tell us who did it. But anyway,
She gonna tell you.
So the
Ronnie.
girl that played Harriet played in this movie. Now let me say some stuff I learned about Aretha I didn't know. Aretha had her first baby when she was 12 years old.
Okay.
Wow.
By the time she was 15, she had 2 kids.
Okay.
Still, when she turned,
She had how many kids?
Two.
but she had 2 by the time she was 15.
15.
That's normal.
By the time she was 18
Back
is
then.
when she
Back
started
then.
her career. She left her kids at home with her
Back in the 60s? Yeah.
50 and 60, yes. Yeah.
I mean, it was
Yes, it
it was probably frowned upon.
No, yes, it was.
It was frowned upon.
No, but it was normal though.
It was normal.
It was normal.
Okay, you only have a mic.
She did that last week. Like I said, Tony out on the
That's not normal. That's not normal.
But by the time she was 15, she Aretha did a lot of civil rights stuff. I did not know that. She was really big on, like, she did a lot of protesting and stuff. I didn't know
You
she
didn't
was
know
old
what
enough.
respect was about?
No, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know that was more.
I mean, that probably was birthed out of
Yeah.
growing up in that time period. You know what I'm saying? Black people were really oppressed, right?
Shit. Aretha, I mean, she was a serious. Okay, her mother left her, and that was a.
I mean,
sad
this
scene.
time is that time.
When her mother
We still
left her,
oppressed.
You got to think about it. Most people, grandparents raised them, not their mothers and
Right.
fathers.
Yeah.
But when her mother left her, that was a sad scene. She was playing with her. She said, "I love my mother. That's what I want to be when I grow up." She's about 10 years old, and she walked away to go get a napkin. When she came back, she was looking at her mother out the window. Her mother left, and she never came back again.
But you
So
know
that was
another
sad.
thing about Aretha
I
Franklin.
mean, you know that's a movie, right?
Did y'all hear about the? But did y'all hear the other rumor about Aretha Franklin?
What?
Okay, you know she was married to that guy.
Glenn Truman.
Preach.
Preach from
Cooley High.
And his name was what?
Glenn Truman.
Glenn Truman.
He
Now,
played
this-
in what was that? A Different World.
Yeah.
Yes. But I heard, and this just a rumor, but somebody told me this that's pretty old from back then. Said the rumor was that that they divorced because he was messing with one of her sons.
He did what? She was messing with one of the
She
sons.
caught him in the bed with one of her sons.
Preach with sleep. That's a rumor, boy.
I
We
was
gotta
saying
look
that's
into
what
that.
I heard. They said that over the weekend.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stories out there, probably. I'm sure. I mean,
So
you
they
know.
saying Preach was gay
I mean,
or
you know,
child molester?
I don't know what it is.
He was
Yeah.
trisexual. He was trying it.
Well, now, that was definitely child.
I don't want to put that out there on this show because
He
Preach
said it was a
the-
rumor.
It's a rumor.
What's wrong? Allegedly.
Allegedly. Hey, yo, another thing I just found out that I'm kind of shocked about. Guess who is like, actually probably is like I think like the third richest black person in the world.
In U.S.
In
history?
the U.S. history. You would never guess.
Who?
Kanye West. I had no idea. Where did he make the money
Well,
from?
he made the money from Yeezys, and then he got a new contract from Gap that's like worth $1 billion.
Yeah.
But they're saying that the numbers are kind of screwed up. So
Because-
like they're saying it's 6.6 billion, right? But it's not that much. It's actually he's actually like at 1.3 billion, but they said with everything he has going on, he can his evaluation can be up to 6.6 billion.
But that's what they say. He estimated now the amount of
So he's
$6.6
so he don't have more
billion
money
dollars.
than Jay-Z right now.
I mean,
I
no, he
mean,
does. No, actually, he does.
he does.
Because he got more than a bill.
Yeah, he got more
Jay-
than a
Jay-
But
billion.
I'm still trying to
Well,
figure out-
Jay-Z has
Jay-Z
more than $1
just
billion
got
too,
there, you know
though.
what I'm
So
saying?
Adidas is paying him that money?
Adidas is paying.
He get paid for
and-
Adidas he get paid his salary per year is $150 million a year. That's just
but
That's
he-
LeBron's salary though for Nike.
but the thing about it is he's not an athlete. One, two.
Okay. Yeah, and of course, again, like I said, the Gap the deal is
the
worth
Gap is like
something,
$1 billion.
but they haven't sold no clothes yet.
Yeah, they haven't even started the deal.
So they said you really can't count that because they haven't sold no clothes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And then I think they said that because they said he has the potential to make that, Kanye's can't put that out there, but it's not actually.
Well,
it's not
actually, I don't think Kanye's can't put it out there. It was Forbes put it out there, but then they said it was misconstrued.
Okay, right. The understanding of it, right?
Everybody's excuse. Everybody talking about it on the news, Fox.
Well, that's why Forbes had to put out an official statement saying that they thought it was like a little skewed as far as like I say it's not actual, but he has the potential to have that kind of money.
But just even still, well, a lot of people also forget about Robert Smith, and I don't know if y'all remember who Robert Smith is. He was a guy who actually said he was going to pay for the students of Morehouse. No, he's still alive.
He did not pass away.
Oh no,
but
that was the other guy.
We can't be
Bill
killing
Clinton
folk.
guy.
But
Bill Clinton guy.
All right, so yeah, but he's got $1 billion, right?
yeah, he's well over $1 billion. He's got a couple billion.
But isn't he getting sued or something?
I don't know about
Well,
over
yeah,
$1 billion.
No, he's well over $1 billion. Yeah, he has
Yo,
several
listen,
billion.
it's hard to be well over $1 billion.
He has like $3 billion or something like that.
We gotta look him up.
Yeah, Robert Smith. Actually,
Well,
but
he
the
ain't
thing
got
about
$6
it is,
billion.
so what happened with the Morehouse situation was, they got him. He had all the money in a separate account, like 100 and something million in a separate account, right?
Right.
And they getting him for tax evasion, and they're seizing that account
Oh wow.
that he's supposed to pay for the students off. But they say he's still going to pay. It's reported that he's still going to pay.
He's still gonna pay it. Yeah, he got the money though.
He still has the money.
What was his name? Robert Smith.
Yeah, Robert Smith.
Well, kudos to him, but I'm trying to figure out because I just remember about maybe 3 years ago when he
Kanye said, "You
No.
know, I'm broke."
Okay, let me tell my part. So that's what I'm saying. Like about when he got married to when he did the video, he lost like 50 million, and he was doing bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And that was less than 3 years ago.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 years ago.
And they estimated his net worth at $7 billion. I don't know how.
Who's that?
Robert Smith, yeah.
Yeah, I tell you.
That's crazy.
What he is he's a financial manager or something like that or whatever. And like he has one account. The dude that kind of like they caught up with him too. They sees like a couple billion from him. So
Jesus. But Oprah Winfrey only worth $3 billion.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm like, but we know how she make her money. I still don't try to figure out how. But these
Well,
are
we don't really know.
estimated.
Well, you got to think about Oprah was an employee. How did she really make all that money? Because she was an employee for, was it ABC?
No, Oprah got that money in the last years. Her last like 10 years
But
at
she
that network.
got
She was
owned
getting.
and
She was getting.
stuff
Some,
like
No. She bought OWN from the money.
well, no, not OWN. Not. I'm saying her show, the Oprah Winfrey Show, was on another network. She was getting top dollar, like unprecedented money
Okay.
the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And she had like a 25-year run. The last 10 years,
Yeah.
Oprah ruled. You know what I'm saying?
And she's-
I mean, I know she ruled, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know where. I don't just see a network paying
No,
you that type of money.
no. It's not just the network. Everything. When she would like put somebody's book up there, and they would sell 1 million copies, like
She
she
get
had that
estimate.
power, so she was stamping stuff privately herself. She's selling stuff. When you got your own million people that's gonna buy anything you say, you can do it. Like
Wow.
you can get it.
Anyway, salute moment goes to my boy Kanye.
No, but the fact that they called him crazy though.
Yeah.
Hey,
People-
my thing
people was
about
laughing at- they were laughing at
but you
Kanye.
got to understand anybody who's willing to go out of the ordinary, they call crazy anyway. If you willing to not go out here and just work a 9 to 5 and do everything else, they call you crazy anyway.
True, but not only that though, Kanye also has admitted, he's got bipolar.
Yeah, he got-
and depression and stuff. So
and also he's still,
you
dealing
don't
with his
think-
mom's death still.
But you don't
He hasn't
think-
never dealt with
But
it.
you don't think his bipolar and everything got something to do with being a part of the Kardashians? 'Cause,
You ain't
No.
gonna do that.
I'm just saying, most either you gonna lose.
nah,
your
man,
thing, you turn
I
it
can't
over.
explain that. The
But
Kardashian thing.
I
is
think
a
he
whole
the
other
only
thing.
one that went there and it actually worked for him. Everybody else to say Bruce became a woman. What's the other guy? Odin, he got on
He
drugs
on
real
crack.
bad.
Yeah.
Lamar Odom.
Omar got on
Even
drugs.
the son.
Even the son got fat.
Rob got fat.
And then even the little sister's
The father
boyfriend.
died.
Yeah, the little sister's boyfriend. Yeah.
But
I
then,
mean, like-
but you got to think about it. The richest is still Kylie in that family.
Don't that's
I
even
still
wilder
think
right
Kim,
there.
But Kim,
No,
Kim
Kylie's a
deserved-
billionaire.
Kim deserved to be rich. Anytime she,
Why?
If it wasn't for her sucking dick,
She-
it would not have
she-
happened.
She
for
did
them.
open the doors for everybody
Exactly,
with her
she
mouth.
did.
I mean, yes, I'm saying, but somebody
it was-
got to open the
and-
door.
and then it-
But
then it-
usually the person who opens the doors is not the richest.
But look at
That's true.
what they say, white privilege, because her dick sucking wasn't even that good.
No, it wasn't.
This is true.
She still made money.
And Ray J still make money off that tape too.
Oh my God.
I think he donates it to Kim though.
Shout out to Paul Sockwall. He said Kanye been tripping since his mom died. That's true, but he's been rich since his mama died too. Shout out to Wendy Finley. Thank you. She called us sexy. I think she was just talking about me.
Nerd.
Shout out to Shantice. Thank you for checking in, tuning in.
What's up, Shartice?
Shout out to Tashia. Sexy Tashia. That's
What's
another
up,
one.
Tashia?
Yo, anyway, I'm so excited about today's show.
Absolutely.
We got a big lineup coming. We're gonna come back with a special guest. She's gonna perform live. Miss Yendi is in the building.
Can't wait.
Miss Yendi, come to the mic so they can come to the camera so they can see you.
They're serious.
Oh, okay. They don't want to do that. Okay. So we come right back into it in about less than a minute. Miss Yendi gonna be performing live.
This dude
and
be
also
lying.
our female co-host is in the building today, Miss Sharice.
All right,
and
all
Lana's gonna
right.
come over here. She's gonna join the panel. Yo. Yes. Well,
Okay, we
Well,
were doing commercial.
well, just go to Open Bar on Facebook too.
Or Open Bar Tuesdays on YouTube.
Open Bar Tuesdays. Open Bar Tuesdays on Facebook.
Open Bar Tuesdays on Instagram and Open Bar Tuesdays on YouTube.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. All right. We'll be right back.
Yeah, we
Salud. yo. Welcome back to the open bar. Salute.
Yo.
Yo, our special guest is in the building. DC's
All right.
finest. We call her the mayor of DC. No, I'm just joking. Originally from Mumbo Sauce.
The vocal man.
Up here, the vocal analyst, the Brandy of DC. That's what we'll call it, the Brandy.
Okay, he messing up your intro.
Anyway, Miss Yendi is in the building performing live her new single. Let's hear it up for her.
Puppy to be is now enemy, and definitely history to me. Now hit the road, Mr. Memory. Turn away, come fast. Hey. But I'm no foolish girl. Don't need you in my world. Won't let you get over on me. No, get gone. Now get. Sick of your West stage, this is it. Time to split, I'm calling it quits. The road is waiting for you to hit it. Now hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back. If you do, you won't see me. Hit the road, Jack. As a matter of fact, don't forget to leave my key. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back. You can see the other side of this door. Hit the road, Jack. And promise me that. And don't come back no more, no. Oh boy, I've given up. I wanna cry for us. I don't love you like I used to. No. The time is passing fast. It's just not gonna last. No more wondering. There's no recovering. So get gone. Now get. Sick of your West stage, this is it. Time to split. I'm calling it quits. The road is waiting for you to hit it. Now hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back. If you do, you won't see me. Hit the road, Jack. As a matter of fact, don't forget to leave my key. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back. You can see the other side of this door. Hit the road, Jack. And promise me that it won't come back no more, no. You won't see my face again, no more. I see that you're not a real man. Oh, it took some time to realize there's no more in store. The allures are born, now hit the door. Don't come back no more, no. A liar and a cheater, two forms of worthless. Hey, you know rewards will come easy. That's why this reward's leaving. So receive your greetings. For as long as you're breathing. That's only matrimony, got you living lonely. No looking back, that peace is all you owe me. The past his accomplishments sound ignorant. Washed up bones without a lick of new relevance. You miss you used to, bragging on YouTube about what you used to do. Ain't too cool, boo. Get out my face, can't plead your case, it's too late. The man I truly hate used to be my soulmate. My hubby beat is now enemy, and definitely history to me. Now hit the road, Mr. Memory. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back. If you do, you won't see me. Hit the road, Jack, as a matter of fact. Don't forget to leave my key. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back. You can see the other side of this door. Hit the road, Jack, and promise me that it won't come back no more, no. Hey, no more, no. Yeah, no more, no. Hey, no more, no.
give it up again for Miss Yendi.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was hot. Hit the road, Jack.
Right.
That looked like it
Powerful.
hurt.
New single.
That's
and-
perfect. I guess that's perfect for the spring,
It
right?
got debuted
Jump
here
right in the
It got
spring.
debuted
Debut
here.
here.
on the
yes.
open bar. That's what's up.
Man, that is something, man.
Oh, wow.
Powerful,
So-
powerful message.
So what was the inspiration of that song?
You would start with that question, wouldn't you? Well,
I mean,
I'm
I've been hearing the rumors.
I'm
I
going
just
to
wanna-
say
God.
this. Well, he said he's been hearing rumors, so, you know. I'm just going to say that listen to the lyrics of the song, and it'll tell you exactly where the song
Breaks
is.
it down, huh?
It breaks it all the way
Right.
down. So
Somebody need to hit
Somebody
that
hit the road.
road.
Jack.
Somebody hit
So,
it.
So do you do most of your writing for your music based upon your personal experiences, or
not always. This particular song, and I'm gonna tell you something funny, and it's actually kind of funny, not funny, so, sort of. But you know, I'm just I could be petty, but I'm just not. This is not me. You know,
won't be on Love
my
and
name
Hip
is Miss Yendi for a reason.
Yeah.
And
Hot
so,
Ron is the petty one.
He's the
I
petty.
am not
yes,
petty.
I just let y'all be petty.
He
but
can do it for you, though.
I'm
It's-
not
it's a difference
petty.
between petty and shady.
Whisper in his ear, he'll be petty.
It's a difference between petty and shady. Come
Well,
on.
no, I'm not. I can be shady, definitely,
Me
but
too.
I'm not petty, and I'm not going to do that. So, this song, surprisingly, I wrote this song with my ex-manager, and we wrote it together
Okay.
maybe a
nice.
year ago. Now, just a few months before the whole breakdown of our departure, he actually wrote his own exit ticket, which was the rap.
Okay.
Oh wow, he wrote the rap on the song.
He wrote the rap, and I executed what he gave me. And ironically, it was
Turned into this beautiful song. Huh?
this turned into this beautiful song. Look at
Yeah,
that. You hear that?
yeah,
powerful.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
powerful.
See, this past is fixed shit. Okay, that's what they do. They fix
Pass-
shit.
Pass
it
is
right.
fixed shit.
They
it right.
pass
That's
the
right.
fixed shit.
That's a sermon. That's a sermon.
Can you do that? And you
Hey.
say, look, pass this fixed.
I'll do it.
my mother is a minister, and she
Absolutely.
did a whole sermon on who gonna check you, boo. I was like, how you gonna put it on? She pulled it off
Who
though.
gonna check me, boo?
Who gonna check me, boo? Oh, yo, don't forget Sharice is here. Hey, Sharice.
All right.
Hello,
What's
hello.
up?
How
Crawford
you
is
all
here.
doing?
Wow.
Happy new spring. It's a new season. We're springing forward.
Right.
I know Sharice, you here though, but you know we gotta talk about. I know you're gonna talk about Stay Hood in DC too. You gonna talk about
We
that?
have
too?
a lot to talk about.
God.
For
Yeah,
sure.
that's
We
deep
got
right
a long
there.
show.
Yeah, it's a,
But let me say this: since the song hit the road, Jack, there's a lot going on in Hot Topics right now. What's
Yeah.
the brother name?
Derek Jackson with an X.
Derek. Derek.
So
with an X.
Yeah, what's so
Who
important
give
about
some
him?
history about who Derek Jackson is?
You know, Derek is like many social influencers. He's a self-proclaimed, the women has stamped him as the kind of guru of dating and marriage and things of that nature.
Trying to take your job, Pastor.
Hey.
He tried to pass it, but didn't quite do well enough. You
Yo.
know? Because this is the seemingly perfection that I never fully got into for me. You know, it wasn't the human. You never saw a human side of him.
Hold on. So you saying before this scandal came out, he never really did it for you?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I wasn't even following
Hold-
him.
hold
But
on.
I
I'm with
saw promos
Sure,
and when
yeah,
he
yeah.
would sponsor certain
He'll
tips.
pop up
and
every now and
He'll
then,
pop
right.
up every now and then, and so some things you take with a grain of salt, some things you keep, just keep going.
Well, yeah,
so,
because
'cause
most
I'm
people
not-
may not know it's even a scandal or whatever, or what's going on behind
Some
it.
people don't know, but by this point, because he's gone viral, he's
Well,
trending.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you
did,
know,
I didn't know about it.
It's
till I
sad
saw
the
it.
reason why
2
he's
days.
trending though,
Exactly.
because
Right.
if you look at his social platform, this was the last 3 posts has been kind of the idolization of his wife to promote his new book.
Right.
And even with the scandal of his infidelity coming to light, he still then in the kind of apology video, by the way, go get my book. There was not an ounce of sincerity to his wife. I mean, the grip that he had on his
Yes.
wife for me
it was a hostage type.
it was uncomfortable to see. It was a very hostile scenario.
And my thing is, why would your wife be on there with the do-rag on her head or whatever?
You
Oh,
can
wow.
tell she checked out though. I mean, the thing. Okay, let's be
She's
very
the-
clear. Domestic violence comes in different forms. And this
It can be
looked
mentally.
as a narcissistic abuse.
Sure.
And-
Now hold on, just for the point of order, she did do her own video and she had a different hat on, so
Yes.
that might be her thing.
She checked out a long time. If you look at
And
her
it
social
still didn't
media,
look all that.
if you look at her social media
She
posts,
doesn't look right. Yeah.
she checked out a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, she is the typical type of. She's a typical woman
Okay,
that will be preyed on.
Could you give them a
to be
backstory
abused.
about Derek and about his wife so people can?
Are you familiar with this story?
Okay, so
I think I've heard a little bit about it. Not,
all right, so
not a lot.
real quick, just for a synopsis, Derek Jackson is a relationship guru. He's built a big platform.
Massive.
Massive
Built a big platform. He sold,
especially with single women.
he has about 3 or 4 books that he's written, that he's put out, and so he makes his money off of his videos that he
Vulnerable
posts on
women.
YouTube. And so he also, because of his videos, he's talked about what a trash nigga is and what fuck
Infidelity.
boys are and infidelity. And he was very, very arrogant in the way he would
Consistent.
deploy his content, right? So you wouldn't think he would be, of all people, would be caught up in the stuff that he's told other women that they should leave men alone.
And you know Erica Mendels from was that Love and Hip Hop?
Love and hip hop.
She said,
Safari's wife.
yeah, she tweeted. She said, if you got any advice from him, you should sue. You should be able to get some.
Yeah,
money
so
back.
it's been a couple
It
of
seems like-
claims of that out there.
Because a lot of people did, listen to
Divorce
him
their spouses
and
because of
tried to
this man.
take a stand because he was so-called empowering them, right, with his words. But he wasn't even living those words. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
He was-
first when he first started doing it, he was not even married, and a lot of dudes was getting on him, right?
Right, exactly.
Especially black men, because he was really going after the black man.
Sure.
So it was like
Steve
he,
Harvey.
yeah, kind of like Steve Harvey, but it was even worse.
Oh,
'cause
he even went hard on John Gray, the pastor out of South Carolina, who had a
his
lot of
infidelity.
exposure, right? He spoke on his situation. So he was like directly addressing and judging almost,
Black
right?
men.
So
Well,
he's
see, that's where we went wrong. Because at first I was thinking, okay, you can make a mistake.
Yeah.
But the problem is when you judge other people and you turn around and
Yeah,
do the same
and
thing.
you can't.
But,
be a
but the
full
thing about it is,
hypocrite.
his was kind of like even worse because I think he may have got married a couple years ago, and it's like the infidelity has been going on for a couple years.
Oh yeah. Not only that, so to a point that Sharice was about to make, and that is that the wife, since she's checked out and that she looks like she could be taken advantage of, she seems to be very undeveloped. Like emotionally, she seemed to be very impressionable. The video she put out as her separate response,
Yes.
she's like quoting all of these religious
About Jesus.
statements about Jesus, and it's like you hiding behind, what God can do. We talking about what's going on right now. And so the fact that she felt like that was
Sufficient.
a valid, sufficient response.
My thought
says
of-
some undevelopment is there, right?
Let me say
My
this.
thought was, who was behind the camera? Who was directing the video?
Let me say this. I
Oh, the
posted
comments
this
was crazy.
on my Facebook, and I really want to just be very clear about this. I posted to pay homage to the ancestor Nat Turner.
okay.
Okay.
Because Nat Turner rebelled against the very thing that is still to this day keeping many of us in spiritual bondage.
Right.
Is that it was certain doctrine that he was only allowed to preach. That he specifically was allowed to preach these doctrines to control the slave.
True.
And then once he learned,
They
of
literally
other-
gave him a version of the Bible. They took certain parts out that he could not speak.
Specifically.
They would black it out,
Because
yeah.
it was about control and manipulation. And if you think back to when we were talking about this the last time I was here, when Trump came out with the Bible and did his photo op, it was the same symbolism of that type of control.
Yeah.
Did he have it upside down? No, I'm just kidding.
So think about that in the
This is
sense
backwards.
of
This
the
is
fact
backwards,
that
okay.
that the religion and the Bible is consistently
used.
can be weaponized
Exactly.
even against ourselves.
Well,
For
that,
our-
well
for
that's
our own
what that was the
self-destruction.
whole thing about it from the beginning. Amongst
Control.
slavery, it was more or less to control us because it's like, and still to this day we still forgive our oppressor, and in all facets more than we forgive our own.
These are the broken teachings that we got from that.
That's why y'all saying the wife is is
that
leaning
she's
on-
also being manipulated through that
Through
whole
the Bible
religious,
and-
Yeah.
exactly.
all of it.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
I'll give you an example of some of the posts that she did. You know, they've been married for a short order,
4 years.
But she has photos of him from back in looks like maybe either high school.
Yeah,
or college.
they've known each other for 12 years, but they only been married
Shout
for
out
like
to
4.
Wendy
So
Phillips.
he's-
She said they only been married for. They just got married last year.
He's been essentially
That's
maybe
not what they said in the
grooming this
video.
woman
Married for 2 years. I'm sorry.
because
Less
she
than 2 years.
talks
Less than 2
about visuals of her watching and witnessing other women and knowing their moans and knowing how they are intimate with a certain partner. It's on all of her Instagram and talks about how she knows other women's bodies better than she knows her own body. And her
What does she mean by that?
Her entire
lost.
timeline
Because
is
she probably watched the
screaming-
video over and over and over again.
her
Of
entire
other women?
timeline is really screaming insecurities, identity crisis. It's screaming help. It's screaming abuse. It's screaming victimization.
So you saying that doing his infidelity, he actually videoed?
So one, it's on her social media. So you go look at back. It's been a long time since she's been talking about these things, but she's seeing so many acts of other women's parts and other women,
how?
and it's intimate. So how is a great question, but it just goes to
So
show you
it
that
wasn't
this
clear whether
is
she was
not-
talking about pornography or private videos or what,
It was
right?
private because of how it was targeted towards her not feeling validated or good enough. Because it was a particular brown, darker
Well, this
skinned
might
woman.
explain why he had to keep her because
That she
he might have
talks
done some
about.
wild stuff that he don't want her to break and tell nobody. Like she can't
It's
go talk to a
public. It's
therapist
public
because
on her
Well, one,
social media.
they've known each other for 12 years.
Shout out to Glo Blair. She said, "Where are her friends? And what is her?"
well, that's the first thing.
And
that
who is
people
her
do.
confidant?
They
Yeah,
isolate you.
Isolation.
But you know what? Most women isolate themselves anyway.
Well, true.
Well, after you have feeling invalidated, after you one.
No. I mean, when I'm talking about when they get in relationships, most women they cut their friends
well,
off.
that's kind of two
I
parts.
can't
It's twofold
necessarily
because
validate
sometimes
that.
women
You think that, Miss Yenty, do most women cut their friends?
sometimes they do. I think to protect their mental.
I
Right?
have been guilty of that, and not consciously. I didn't do it because I love my friends, but I think consciously you do. It's
Are you
when-
guarding your mental sometimes?
Well, in my situation, no, I didn't. I don't think. I think in the beginning maybe I did, but my situation was almost 11 years. So
No, we're saying, but what would motivate you to like kind of back off from your friends or like withdraw from your
Well,
friends?
it's not even a thing where I'm trying to back off from them. It's just that you're in another space,
just
you
keep
know.
going, right?
Yeah, you're just trying to, keep moving. You're trying to keep, going forward. So you don't think about it in a negative way. It's like I got to back off from you. You just, you just do it
Okay,
unconsciously.
so maybe subconsciously it happens.
Yeah, subconsciously it kind of happens, but most men just cut their friends back. You know what I'm saying? Just to appease their mate. You know what I'm saying? Where women kind of like they could be best friends for like 100 years, right?
But
and they'll cut their friends off for it because she broke her nail. She's like, I'm tired of her breaking my nails all the damn time.
But no. Actually, I think that women have an unwritten code, right, between them, and that they understand when the girl is with her guy, and she
Right.
because sometimes the guy may be controlling. He might be very insecure, and she's trying to reassure him.
Yep.
Or it could be that they're always telling her about stuff that they're saying she don't see, and she's like, I got this under
Right,
control.
she really did.
So I don't want y'all to keep pressuring me. If I'm gonna leave on my own terms when I'm ready. Because your girlfriends they pumping you to leave your man, but then you just sitting out there with them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So you could lose on either hand. So sometimes I think unwrittenly the women understand when their girlfriend kind of backs off. I think still though family and friends should still they should respect the space but stay
be
close,
forceful,
right?
yeah.
Like keep reaching out.
Let me
you know.
give you something that was interesting that she talked about. She talked about being a victim of childhood abuse
Oh wow.
Wow.
in her social
Didn't know that
media.
part. Okay.
So it's a little bit different from
It's like in her eyes though.
just having this kind of manipulative scenario with this Derek Jackson character.
Her husband,
Because
spouse.
her husband, excuse me, yes, her husband.
But he wasn't a husband, so he's not the husband.
Well,
A husband
Derek-
I'm saying a husband has a
Protection.
definition behind it, and he did not protect her
At all.
At all. So he's not a husband. He was
Okay.
Derek,
And that's
whatever
the
his
part
name
that
is.
was alarming for me because one, this is the first time I think many of us have
Ever seen her. Yeah.
and
Ever.
and him
Right.
not even engaging at all with her outside of kind of this romanticizing of their wedding pictures.
Right.
But when I think about abuse, because one of the campaigns that I support is called #Santa Claus. And this is a campaign that supports children who are victims of sexual abuse.
Okay.
And you learn the stories of children who are who are abused as children. They either grow up to become abused adults in their marriages and relationships, or they become the abusers.
Yeah. It's one or the other, right?
And if it's not dealt with accordingly, there are many cases of rehabilitation and so forth. And so I want to thank my friends, the McCallahans, for really pushing this campaign. But her case is the unhealed.
So it seems like
the unhealed version of this cycle of abuse that seemingly never ended.
So
Cause I
is it
mean,
abuse or did he? That's why I'm confused.
I mean,
It's a combination of both.
So you're taking abuse as more as
no,
physical.
I'm asking, what did he do? That
So he wasn't. So he wasn't the man he portrayed to everybody else.
And
pretty much.
and listen, we don't actually know
Exactly.
Well, no, actually, he did admit to
He
it.
admitted to
He admitted to
being
it on the
infidelity.
video.
Admitted to what?
Infidelity.
Infidelity.
No.
Okay,
What
but
I'm saying we don't know.
infidelity's
What I'm
happening.
saying we don't know is we don't know. We're basically kind of deducting from the everything, saying that she looks like she's been under his control. Like
Did
he's,
you
Oh, yeah,
watch
oh,
the
yeah,
video?
yeah.
I mean, come here. Let me show you this
yeah, I
grip.
watched- I did,
mean,
I
the
did.
grip.
It was
No.
That-
They were
I mean,
the
grip
hands
that he
were
had
locked.
on
The
this
hands were
woman
locked.
Yeah, no.
Was just as if it was. I felt the bondage.
and he looked polished, and she looked frumpy.
Yeah, she looked.
So
And
she
he
was there
probably had a
supporting.
nice little
disheveled. She
cute
like she
little
had checked out a
squeeze.
long time ago.
No, you know,
He actually said that she had been out of the house for like a year or something like that.
And how long had he been actually married?
So yeah, so we're
Less than two.
we're deducting though that he was manipulating her, because she even called him in her own personal video, he's this great orator, he's this great public figure.
Yes.
She
It's
called
like
him
this
great.
God. He created himself
Yeah,
to be this
yeah.
God
Look,
to be
she-
worshipped.
Oh, yeah.
She said, "I'm not gonna bite the hand that feeds me."
Exactly. No,
Let me give
and
you
it was
this
kind of
number.
Stockholm, right? Stockholm.
Shout
Let
out
me
to
give
one.
you this
I'm
number.
gonna let you say. I'm just gonna say what she said. She said Wendy Finley said he did what many would do. He told the story before others could get to it and go ahead of it. And he's trying to control the narrative.
And actually, I knew about
But
the
he's
story
making it
before
worse, though.
it came out. The video came out.
I'm gonna give you all this number, and I want you to save this number, because you just do not know who you are coming in contact with, who's in your friends list, who's crying out for help. And I'm just gonna say, as someone who's watched women in these very uncomfortable scenarios, that this woman was able to get a national, international platform for so many other women who are struggling with this kind of abuse that do not have the platform.
When you give your
And-
number, I just gotta have a question.
Absolutely. I
Okay.
just want to say the number is 1-888-793-4357. And I'm going to give it to you again. It's 1-888-793-4357. And this is to help you overcome depression, anger, grief, stress, anxiety, fear, substance abuse, and the list goes on. So this is a 24-hour access helpline. Save this number, because we've gotten more calls for domestic violence during this pandemic than in the last year than over the last 5 years combined.
You stuck in the
Wow.
But
house.
look, back to that topic, and please keep that number in hand, because I
Yes.
believe a lot. Now, youth can have that number too, right? That's forever.
It's
Okay, great.
save it. You just never know.
I'm still confused though.
With the abuse.
So
I'm
we
still
don't- we don't-
confused
we
because you
don't-
keep
we
saying
don't-
abuse,
yeah,
or you
we
saying
don't know
she-
for a fact.
like-
But let
like,
me
what
say,
is
the
the
same
issue?
way, like
What-
we confused, the same way we confused with racism with Sharon Underwood. It was the
Sure,
No,
Underwood.
it's
I mean,
no,
Sharon. No, what I'm saying,
it's no,
it was
it's no
the-
misunderstanding.
No,
of
what
that.
I'm saying is the abuse for her was not physical.
Okay, but no, we have. Look,
We don't-
have
we-
to
no, we
say
can't-
That we
we-
believe.
We
believe
yeah,
that there's
because
some abuse.
we're not
factual-
saying it is. So like Steve is more or less. You're probably thinking more of
He's saying we
physical
can't-
abuse.
we
right?
not-
I'm
defaming
telling you,
him,
what's the
but
issue?
we don't know
what
why.
we think.
Well,
I'm
because the issue, you may. That's why I said from the
Hold on,
backstory.
what we know is that he lies, right?
We got
He's
that.
a hypocrite.
We got that.
We got that. Right.
And only
So-
reason why, because you could make a mistake. Now,
True.
the problem you have because he judged other people. So
That's
that's
the
why you
biggest
look at it.
problem.
So okay, but then she brought something deeper in because now you saying he manipulating his wife.
Well, exactly. And so we don't know this. We believe it, but based on the way she's talking, the way she.
Do we have the video?
Huh?
Do we have the video?
We have it, but we don't. I mean,
Too long. Can we just post
Yeah,
it on our
I'll
Facebook?
say
7
this.
minutes we
I'll
can't
say
play.
this. After I watch the video, and I typically don't get involved in, social media,
Yes.
tit for tat, because a lot of it is a distraction. But because
Right.
one of my commitments right now is to restore the Black family and the Black community because it's been systemically broken. I watched this and started to understand.
You gotta get a lot of weed to do that.
the generations of kind of trauma, the generations of brokenness, and I saw all of that in this video. And then I got on
So
the
you
call.
saw all that and just looking at her.
Yes. If you got to watch the video.
She had no makeup
I-
on. She had this glass. It was just sad.
I
It was
got on a
sad.
call with our emergency
but-
helpline, and other women started to come forward to say that I recognize this woman because she is me. I've been living in this abuse for a very long time.
That's what you
and
get
I
me
am
though.
not.
You keep saying abuse.
Yeah.
This
Exactly.
is these are no.
It's
What I'm
alleged-
saying to you.
It's alleged.
It's,
You're right.
it-
What
it's
I'm
more
saying
of a
to you is
mental
that
abuse.
women
But hold on,
have
but
come
we have to
forward.
say allegedly though.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Yes.
We have to say allegedly.
Yeah,
Because-
allegedly, but he's
But
not picturing
no,
it.
but
He's
no,
not
but
picturing the
technically-
mental.
He's technically
He's
right.
absolutely
And
right.
even though we believe collectively that there's some abuse there, right?
And you-
Us believing
Yeah.
it don't make it so.
You guys, we gotta go to a quick break because Ms. Yendi gotta leave. Just wanna
Absolutely.
tell everybody where they can get to hear your music more. Where you're gonna be performing live next.
There's a single coming. That's what we want.
Right.
Yeah.
The single is coming. I'm hoping
Maybe by summer?
by actually maybe before the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just look out for it. Anything that I'm doing, you can always check me out on IG, Miss Yendi Music, and I'm always updating stuff. I'm always posting new music, anything that's coming up.
Your
I do have
fragrances?
some shows coming up actually with another band, Next Hour Band. We're supposed to be doing something at the Babylon, not too. I think next month.
VA?
And then we have some private events coming up, as well as we may be doing a virtual. I will personally be doing another virtual myself. So
I love your karaoke nights on your with your little
Yeah.
mic.
Oh, that's
Those are
me.
hot.
That's
I've
me.
been
I
doing
love
that.
it. That's my.
And then
serene.
you also have a fragrance line.
I do. I have a
I
new
love it.
business. It's
Black
called
girl
Yidney.
magic.
It's Yidney Body Scrubs, and I have a whole spa, all spa products. I have.
So hold on, we need the website for that, and then we need your social media.
Okay, so my social media is Miss Yendi Music, and my product is @spa_Yidney.
Okay.
And you can see all the products
That's
on
all
there.
on your social media also.
All that's on
So
my
Miss Yendi
IG,
Music
yes.
and then-
Or you can find me on Etsy.com too for my business. But mainly, if you want to see any of that, you can go to my IG pages and you can
Dope.
see everything on there.
And you are welcome to come back anytime. Anything you can.
I
something new,
appreciate. I
please
had
come
a
back.
ball as usual. I had
it.
fun. I love the new space. It is so swank. It's really nice. I love
swag.
it. I'm waiting for my picture to get on the walls.
I love it.
Oh,
yeah, we
okay,
definitely
yes.
gotta
So
get
next
that.
time I come, I'm gonna have my picture on the wall
We'll
because
take a
that's
quick
not,
break and
all right. Thank you guys.
Congratulations.
I
we'll take a quick
appreciate
break
you.
and we'll come right back and
All right.
finish up the topic.
Finish up the topic. Salud. Yo, welcome back to the open bar. Salute.
Salud.
Salute.
Yo,
And I
shout
am
out to Miss Yendi again. Thank you for gracing the building.
Yes,
She did an
yes.
excellent job.
Hit the road, Jack.
Let's apologize for the presence of these sorry ass coffee cups.
I
Yeah,
know.
I don't
We,
understand this, man.
we
exactly.
usually have glasses
Look at
and
this
everything.
luxury
I know. And they
Play.
facility we in.
And we drinking coffee
Everybody
cups.
knows.
But everybody forgot their glass at home tonight.
But everybody
That's all.
know if you do an event with Ron Austin, we don't use plastic or anything in my
The
house.
celebrity bartender that bartended one celebrity event.
Yo, before we left, of course, we
He
was
can't
talking-
even name him, or he'll get sued.
I can't. They made me sign one of those
Non-disclosures.
Yeah.
You don't even know what you
It's important.
signed.
NDA.
NDA. I had to sign an NDA, so I can't do it.
Yeah.
So I was actually at the party at the Housewives in South Carolina. I couldn't tell y'all that. They didn't put me on camera. So.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So you're gonna be on the show
And
now?
you happy with
You
it.
know
I
what?
wasn't supposed to
He
say
was
that.
like Simi parking the cars, coming to America, the original coming to
I
America.
wanted to make a joke right there, but I can't even do it because people online be taking it so serious.
I know. I'm
well,
feeling bad
I
for
couldn't
you.
even make a joke.
He
Oh,
can't even
talking
joke.
about the event.
No, I was just gonna say I made my girlfriend sign one of those. An NDA.
I think-
Hey, but you
but
know
then
what?
It's
What's
like,
wrong
but
with
it's just a
that?
joke.
Hey,
and then everybody was gonna take it.
actually nowadays, in this day and age and climate, in the 2020s,
Yeah.
anybody you kind of like pretty much speak to, you need an NDA.
You need
for
something,
real.
right?
Because it's just
Anything
people
you
coming
say-
out at the end of and if they even think you smell like money, they coming out with something.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying. Every time I do, let's just say, alpha guys, maybe single alpha guys. Let's say they sexually harass some woman, right? At least one. But when one woman come out, 5 more come out. That to me is somebody
That's-
twisting
right.
a circumstance that wasn't even like that,
And you can't even.
and they're turning it,
But
right?
see, the thing about it is, why did they start coming out when one came out, right? My thing is this. You can't. I understand.
You
it's
talking
like
about
now
Governor-
you feel like security.
you talking about
that-
Governor Cuomo right now. Right?
No, I'm not talking about
Well,
anybody in
him,
specific.
Bill Cosby,
Deshaun Jackson, Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
But the thing about
Tiny
it is,
and
it's not.
T.I.
It's not about that.
Yeah,
My thing-
exactly.
My thing is this, right? And women, they have the right to come out, and they will have a right to say something. And I understand you may not feel like coming out into somebody else to make you feel empowered. I give you that. But the point is this: now, just all of this is coming out, and then my thing is this: you don't tell nobody.
And this is the thing. So think about it. In this climate, when everybody tells everything, right?
Or
Everybody-
videos, everything.
and they be posting everything, right?
Yes.
So it just seems funny that a story from 5 years ago of an encounter at a public banquet, something happened, and you say, "I felt uncomfortable with that," and I get maybe you felt uncomfortable, but I mean, do you want to put it on the end of sexual harassment? Like, is that too far on the you know what I'm saying
Yeah,
on the?
that's my take on Governor Cuomo. I just
My
think
thing
that-
is this:
right?
If his name was Arnold Austin, would they be filing sexual harassment suits?
I just want to
depends.
say, as a woman who has been over sexualized and put in very
In situations, right?
and put in very uncomfortable positions.
Facts.
Wow.
Especially because.
But if you said no, and
No, Sharice, I'm getting this to you. You're like a beautiful woman, right? So I get it, right? A lot of guys. No, I'm saying.
I'm talking about Arnold.
he's
'cause
good, right?
The jury's still out for me on the circumstances surrounding Bill Cosby. In many circumstances, so you really do have to pay attention to these things. But
Oh, this is good.
typically, women are first of all, women are just unprotected.
Wow.
First and foremost.
wow,
Yes.
This
So
is true.
to then be the only one, to the first one, to step up to say this happened to me, you immediately already know that you become a target.
Can you give us a
Hold on, no. I want to ask you a question. I'm sorry,
Oh,
to
go
interrupt
ahead,
you,
you know,
but I want to ask you this because just think about over the last 5-10 years, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure men have made comments and things like that, and maybe they had a drink or two, right? And they might have gotten a little comfortable, right?
Yeah.
And whenever a woman is nice and outgoing and smiling, that make a dude feel more like, oh, maybe she really like.
She's into me.
You know what I'm saying? So out of those moments when a guy has maybe said something that may have not made you feel uncomfortable, but you was like, no, this is not with that though. You know what I'm saying? Like you wasn't giving him none of those signals. Out of those times, how often did you feel like it was harassment versus a guy just being a guy who you could tell he had been drinking, or you could tell he took some smiles the wrong way? Sometimes you could
He
tell.
got some liquid courage.
But
Yeah.
it's really it really is about control. I've been in the workplace where my job was on the line if I didn't date the
Oh.
white guy on the job.
Wow.
That's too
So-
far. That's way
It
too
is
far.
it is a real thing
That you get pressured like that.
that you don't even know, one, who to tell, when to tell. You don't know at what, like, how do you fully make the impact that it deserves? And
it's,
so
it's sad because my daughter went through that, and she finally came out. She said she's working at Six Flags, and the manager, he's about 19 or 20. Her manager, he liked her. She didn't like him. Every day he would flirt with her and everything. She ended up getting fired
yeah.
because and it's sad that young women are going
It's
through that
control.
at an early age.
Right, but see, that's the thing. That's
Yeah.
And that's
so
the position
that-
when you're
Yeah.
in positions of power.
Which now I see, when you're in position of power, you can't be doing stuff.
Well, the thing about
Right,
it,
'cause
yeah,
your
we
scenario-
understand that.
I mean, look
in
at
a
the Jeffrey
position of power.
Epstein case. I mean, this man, first of all, Jeffrey Epstein's case exonerated people who were not even identified yet.
Right.
It exonerated future possible cases
Right.
of the possibility of being involved.
Yes,
with
because
Jeffrey
he
Epstein.
killed himself.
But let
or
me ask
whatever.
you this though.
Even then, but his conviction exonerates future cases.
But let me ask
So
you this.
think about that kind of power.
Right.
Right.
But let me ask you this: if that situation, when that situation happened, when you was able to control it, and you would say that, okay, I'm not going to go there with you or nothing like that.
My contract was terminated.
Wow.
These are not so it's
So do
it's
you ever
very
wish, but looking back, do you wish you would have told, or
well, sometimes it happens. Okay,
So
no,
fast.
seriously.
Right.
I got called into an appraisal, and during my appraisal, I was told that I needed to date this man, or they would not find use for renewing my contract.
Wow.
And so then you having to contemplate, how bad do I want this job, and do I
Forget
want
how
to go to this
you're
level?
trying to fully contemplate what just happened. Forget how bad do you want the
No,
job.
I'm saying you're trying to add all that stuff up. No, I get that.
And this man, the person that they was in question, he never himself even came on to me in that way.
but they
so
were letting
this
you know.
is-
he was smart? He had
This
other
was his
people.
superior, my superior, our superiors.
So he
So-
told your superior to do his dirty work, pretty much.
However,
Well, no,
that
not
went
necessarily,
down.
not necessarily, because you got to understand, in positions of power, right? Especially even in a men's case, right? They tell you to get with certain people.
Get with the program.
You got to get with the program. If you want to move up in the chain, right? You have to get married. You have to marry this type of person. You have to have this type of this person.
Okay,
in there,
so-
or you cannot be in this circle.
Okay,
or
so-
otherwise
The very
you will
next
be
day, my
dropped back
contract
down.
was terminated.
So now I really get the whole thing. Like if Governor Cuomo's doing that to an aide in his office, I get that. That's real shit.
Yeah, but that,
it
but-
doesn't
but-
even have to be in his office. So consider control is about influence.
Yes,
True.
Yes.
Okay.
True.
That's
I mean, in
But
in
see,
the
but
influence,
then how do you protect the men of power? Like Bill Cosby has power, his influence, and it's like, and every girl
Well,
that wants to come around and hang
hold
around,
up. But
and
the,
then
the,
she
the, the reason how you protect the men of power is for them to be married. That's how they do it. They said when you're in power, you get married, and that's way they control you with the marriage.
Well, here's what
I
happens in
see
Bill
what you're saying,
Bill
Pat.
Cosby's
but it doesn't
case.
change. It doesn't change the
It
fact that somebody
doesn't-
can
it doesn't
turn.
change. But
somebody could take a-
the concept of marriage is to be one and one.
Hold on.
So
If
you
we-
talking about just the image thing? Of
Yes,
someone.
it's more of an image
right,
thing.
It's more of an image.
Because
but-
I noticed, like with pastors, like if you have to, when you have to, how you would say, cancel a young lady, normally you try to bring a woman in there with you, right? A sister or.
Well, I mean, that's been a practice for some pastors. I think like if you've ever been accused, you probably want to adopt that practice. If you got deeply accused, I think it could happen to anybody. I would say this: a lot of women in my church, single women that I pastored over years, didn't come on to me, but wanted to see me or date me or have a personal connection with me. They wanted that. I didn't let that happen, right? But
You didn't lay hands on the pastor.
man,
Well, the
I didn't.
challenge with exploitation
But-
I just
becomes
messed-
But I want to say though, it's I guess the challenge with that whole thing is that that if they, my experience was that they were trying to open
on
that
with
door
you,
with
yeah.
me, right? And so I'm trying to figure out that all these women come out on these guys. Is this like truly legitimate? I know some dudes are just cruddy dudes, right?
Right, but that's even if we go to say Bill Clinton
But
and
power dudes
Monica
typically
Lewinsky
can
though.
get women. That's what
Right.
I'm saying. They can
Right.
get women. So
Exactly.
it's like
That's what I'm saying. But let's just go to Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. Now she sort of threw herself onto him.
she went with it.
You see what I'm saying?
She was glad to do what she was
right,
doing.
right. So
And then
She went to the knees.
And then she kept the
Right.
she kept the dress. And I feel like
And
she
she
came
like
out
she
with
was a
that later.
setup.
I feel like she came out with that later because she didn't get some benefit. she
So,
wanted
but
to
what's
get
your
out of
take
that.
on Monica Lewinsky situation? Do you think that's a consider of
Like she came
like,
out
do
late.
you think Bill Clinton was wrong?
That was
There
that
are-
was
there
Well, he
30
was
years
wrong
ago.
in the sense because he was married.
Well,
But what I'm saying
in a
is,
sense, he was
They
wrong.
have an arrangement, though. I think.
well, there weren't 5 other allegations, 10 other allegations.
right,
That
When he
was,
was
you know,
governor.
this was an isolated scenario.
right, right.
Right. And so again, human nature kicks in with anybody in any situation, any
Right.
scenario, right?
Right.
So, when you look at these scenarios that there are compounded cases, you really have to look at them very differently.
Yeah.
Because even if you feel like all 50 people are lying or all 5 people are not telling the truth, you have to consider what truth is there.
But my question though too, and we go back to Governor Cuomo,
Yeah.
is just because he said a few things, like he's like one girl, he said, so
With the hot dog.
Okay, I didn't even know about the hot dog, but one girl he said to her, he was like, "What type of guys do you like?"
Yeah.
She felt uncomfortable with that.
Well, that's because it was, but it was in a line of thoughts about him being attracted to her. It was very suggestive.
But he didn't go no further.
Right. It was
but
very
to
suggestive
that.
though. But this is the thing. Here's what I'm gonna say. For me, because I would never do that to a woman, I'm very biased.
Yeah.
But I do know that a lot of dudes who I would never even think it about actually hit women. So now when I think about it in that, objectively, I'm like, yeah, a lot of dudes, they may not come off like that to you one-on-one, but you'll be surprised at what these dudes are doing
Right.
privately to women.
And that just go back to your point. We were talking about the Derek guy.
Yeah.
It's his image, and then what he do behind closed doors.
That's what I'm saying. So you
is
would never
his,
believe
yeah,
it.
So
It feels
Women are
like
getting
looking
beat, you know
back
what I'm saying?
at this Derek character is that he's been talking about himself this entire time.
Right.
He's
Exactly.
so aware of
Exactly.
these personalities and
Exactly.
these traits
You don't want to date me. That's
because
what
he is studying
It was him.
himself.
It was
He was the fuck boy.
so I don't know. Did you send it to me? The one with Gilly the Kid from
Oh, yeah.
$1 worth of game, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He put out a video a couple years ago. A woman asking about something. I can't remember exactly what the details was, but Derek Jackson responded to it. It was like, if a guy is doing this is he came out with a whole different scenario because Gilly the Kid kind of like he was like, yo, it was something about infidelity, and he was saying that more or less that this it was about Instagram or whatever. He was liking pictures or whatever, right? The guy was liking pictures, and
Gilly says.
Gilly said, if your guy is liking pictures, he could actually be with probably some of these women instead of just liking their pictures.
Right.
But then Derek Jackson's response was, well, if he's liking the pictures, he's probably done gone further anyway. You know what I'm saying?
He was
So,
talking about himself. Exactly.
So,
You
But
know,
consider
pretty much like when Bill Cosby was getting on black people about he was downplaying young.
That's
But
black
see,
people.
that's a whole
totally
different.
different.
That's
No,
a
what
whole
I'm saying
different.
is-
totally different.
It's
the point
totally
I'm making
different.
is-
It's not the same
Totally
scenario. So it's like, but Derek Jackson is in the same circle of
Right.
what he was talking
What
about.
he was saying he was doing. He was
kinda
doing the same thing he was talking
he was
against.
talking about himself.
He was not practicing what he preached.
Because he was actually talking about
he
himself.
was talking about himself.
But you know what? A good thing, since we're in hot topics, a good thing that not only black men are being.
When the fuck we was in that time? Oh,
This was part of hot topic, but good thing. Not only black men are being like Derek, of course, Gary Owens is just him. His wife just filed for
Well,
divorce.
that ain't got nothing to do with it. That's totally
No,
different.
The reason why I say
No,
it's
it's
different
like he-
Why?
is
no,
scenario
no.
because Gary Owens always prided himself on how much he loved
His
and
family life.
respected
His
the
family
black
life.
woman. And then to come to find out he's been cheating on her
Yep.
with this
With
white
a-
woman
with-
named Dallas, Texas. And
Not Dallas, Texas.
her name is Dallas, Texas.
Oh God.
What the fuck?
And then
Dallas,
the crazy thing-
Texas.
and the big story is went out that basically that this Dallas,
I
Texas
thought once
girl,
you go black, you never go back.
I think she might be. I don't think she's
I think
white.
she's mixed. I don't think she's white.
She's mixed. But anyway, she's supposed to be close friends with Claudia Jordan.
So Claudia denied all of that too.
Claudia
just for the
denied. She
record.
put a videotape out now. But Kenya, which is Owen's wife,
Garrett Owens' wife.
she came out and she's trying to go for Claudia. And so Claudia sent her. She said, "I sent you my phone number. We need to have a conversation."
Claudia
I want you
always
to know.
full of mess, though, man. She always.
But they pulling her.
Her
in
name
there.
always comes up and stuff. I don't know why.
Let me
Yeah,
say
why
this.
does her name always come up?
When the
Always.
Derek thing came about, I have been intentionally looking for positive relationship images. I was intentionally looking for men and women praying together, positive reinforcement. And I found one really good clip. It's an athlete and his girlfriend. They were praying together. Looks like on the field. And I was looking for more of that and I didn't find enough images of black women and men praying
Michelle
together.
Obama and-
Right?
Do
And this was what I was looking for. And then I came across Derek Jackson. What I was looking for in that video was, look, baby, let me tell you.
sorry.
I messed up.
I messed up.
Right.
I was looking for him to make some human connection with
Yeah.
his wife.
And you can
Yeah,
talk about, and you can
his
talk about
connection
this
was
other-
more to the
Right.
audience
I
than
was
his wife.
What you're
for-
saying is good because, like, even if you talk about what's the minister name that got caught,
John Gray?
John Gray. John Gray showed his wife he was sorry. To me, he was trying his best.
Nigga, you can't show you sorry if you're
And
doing
keep
it 12
doing the
times.
same
No, he
thing.
knew it was
Exactly.
wrong, but but to me, he
Exactly.
didn't humiliate his wife the way Derek.
But-
did.
I was
Nigga.
looking for some
You were
humility.
you. I'm
I
just
was
saying,
looking
12
for
times,
some
that's
grace.
you.
I was looking for some remorse. I was looking for some sincerity.
Yeah, he tried to still come off alpha and strong. Yeah, no humility.
It was the worst kind of script. I mean, I was looking for him to take a moment to say a prayer. I had all of these images of what
Let me
does an apology
No,
look like.
my thing
Shout
is
out,
this.
shout out to Wendy Finley. She said Derek killed his brand. This man went on this road to talk about relationships, but guess what? He's with the trending somebody gonna pick him up and profit. And what did he say? And profit off his entire situation.
My
Yeah.
thing is this, right?
That's what it was all about.
My thing is this with the whole situation with Derek is, look, you did it, and like I always tell y'all, you get caught, something happens, you leave the situation. I felt he should have did the video by himself and said, look, it's not working out at home. You know what I'm saying?
Who said that their relationship was
But he
over?
said that they were separated when he was with the other
No,
people.
what in the video he actually said she had left for a year and she just had recently came back. You gotta
Because
watch the
she
video.
says that she left him.
She
But,
left
okay,
him
so
for a year,
so
and he did the work for her to come
let
back.
me tell you what I was looking for. I was looking for him to modify his message because
it was the
what
same.
what yeah what
was
what I
about
what
me.
what
It
but
was
what
about
but what
him.
but no, not only that, what I try to teach people is, see, I'm not this advocate for keeping marriage together at any cost and people staying no matter what.
Yes.
I feel like people make decisions based off bad information all the time, and when it blows up, it's more of an opportunity to step back,
Assess.
reconsider, figure out what you really want, who you really are, what you really need, and then go in that direction. And it might be difficult because it still might be letting go of something that you still desire. But if you can desire something that's not good for you.
That is true.
You know,
we all desire that dessert that's not good for us.
It's not good for us. And
But-
so I'm saying I want to see you. I would like to see him realign his message because you apparently don't believe the stuff you were saying because you wasn't doing none of that for years. And you said it was many women and it was multiple times. And it was
Yes.
sex and everything, talking.
And you had to say that in the past 4 years you had to give her a rundown of everybody you had talked to,
Yeah,
had a
like-
relationship or counseled or did anything.
Which is
with,
like Cherie said, that was him controlling the narrative.
It was.
because he knows there's more to come out because he's
Yeah.
been going hard.
Yeah.
So there's more that could come out that he wanted to get ahead of it.
But see,
But I feel like
everybody frowns upon when you say the marriage contract, give it an expiration date of 5 years.
But what I'm also frustrated about is that this was
5
his
10 years
wife's
or whatever.
debut to the public.
Right.
Not only did he not protect her as a husband to protect her from other women having this edge on her, looking down, frowning upon her, he also didn't protect her in a sense of sincerity and covering. There's a certain type of covenant that a woman is looking for in a husband.
Or deserves.
And deserves.
That's true. Now,
Deserves that covering. And he offered none of that. He offered none of this protective husband nature, only to then sell a book as a follow-up to his infidelity. So his public debut to humiliate his wife for his infidelity, she is already distraught from however long she's had to deal with his reality, for however other many cases that we do not know about. And now he's not focused on her well-being, her emotional state. He is committed to keeping his audience sale, his posture, his demeanor, his delivery, his
Alpha.
energy that was still, I'm in control.
Exactly.
I am the God that you serve.
And sold people stuff that wasn't true. And to Sharice's point about Nat Turner and the religion, to your point about the 5 years marriage, these are all things I preach and teach in my church. They won't come to my church, right? Because they want to go and feel good, but they don't want you to shatter the dream and the images and stuff that you have. They don't want that.
Yeah, no, they don't reality of what's going to happen.
This is what you really got to do to live your best life and maximize what you have to work with. But that's not. That's just,
the fact that his book link was in the video, the fact that the link to sell the product was in the debut of his wife's
with that bond on
humility. And that was another thing that he knows the social media type vulture reality that we deal with. So now women are going to try to blame his wife for whatever happens now, because what they're going to say is, look at her wife. She's giving him a reason. So women, do me a favor, and before you pass judgment on this woman, consider all the facts, because that's the first thing that our society does, is to attack the victim, is to attack this woman in a sense, for being herself.
My thing is this: I don't know, and maybe y'all can understand, because I've seen videos of this dude, and I laugh at him most of the time because he talks a lot of bullshit. And I read some of the comments, but has he ever done a video, right, where he's come out and said he was even married?
Never. I've never seen it.
Nope.
I've never seen a human regular relationship interaction between he and his wife.
Yeah, because I've seen videos with him, and people say, oh, he's doing videos with his dog, but I bet he don't even have a woman.
Not only that, he's always in the car.
Yes,
he
always
deserves
in the car.
You got a whole house. You got a whole house.
10 years.
You got the whole house.
He deserves to sleep right there.
His job wasn't about his relationship, though. His job was.
It was.
You in the relationship business.
He was a relationship guru.
You a relationship guru, but you're not. I'm not talking about.
He
my
making hundreds of
relationship. I'm
thousands of
talking
dollars.
Everything else, right?
You're talking about everybody's relationship,
Right,
Yes.
but I'm not mine.
So it's kind of like how everybody, like last week, right? And we were saying, like, Pastor, I know something you had said, and I said, well, you can't, you look at the messenger and you try to hold him up to a certain image, right? That's the same thing with him. It's like he's portraying one image,
and you
but
address
he's actually doing the exact opposite.
and he's addressing other people's real life issues.
Yes,
Other people's real life issues. He's addressing them, and the thing is, again,
using his thinking as the example, though. Consider that. He was
women
addressing
think they're
these
getting-
scenarios as himself.
exactly.
But you have the thing about it is you
Right.
have women, single women, which there are tons of out here, and especially
That were feeding
30 and up,
feeding
right?
into what
They
he
were
was saying.
feeding into this, right? And they're going out here looking for this perfect guy, and this guy is not even available.
Well, he understood the vulture culture. First of all, the vulture culture even exists because of the generations of trauma. And I posted that on my social media, is that Black love is so revolutionary that it is because we are still trying to heal from generations of trauma, 400 plus years
Yeah,
of
you did
trauma.
post that. I just seen that.
And that is the reality of us trying to date and mate and love and learn and grow and heal and all of these things. So he's preying on the reality of our conditions.
But see, the thing about it is, even with that, is we're looking for a put together puzzle already when we're not put together ourselves.
Okay. And then to the point that Sharice just made, just as European, the Western white America gave us religion and our spirituality, took our spirituality and gave us their spirituality, they also gave us their concept of love.
Yes.
And
their
hate.
concept of marriage
Yes.
and hate, all that
Yes.
stuff.
And
so,
abuse.
So we're actually be operating under a mindset that don't even agree
Don't
with
even
what our
agree.
natural
Yes.
heart, our souls
Bingo.
don't even go with that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Because I never really understood, and this connected to what you say, where we inherited or learned from the European, like this whole colorism thing. Like, how can black people be colors? You know what I'm saying? Or racist?
We learned hate.
We
You learned it.
learn hate just like everybody else. The thing about it is, like I said, like I can get mad at you and kill you, right? But I won't kill my oppressor. You know, is the thing about that. Like why I should love you more than anybody else. It's like, and we have so much trauma
Pause.
built up in us, right? That we love animals and things like that, but we don't love one another. And we
Facts.
have such an outcry when it's another race that's getting abused out in society, but when it's ours, it's like, oh, it's just an ordinary thing.
Are you
think
talking about the
think about
Italians?
how our media exploits us, though. I mean, there's no other culture in media that you can talk about killing, raping. You can talk about the WAP. I mean, what other WAP have you seen on national, international TV?
Not only that,
no.
not only that, subconsciously.
Only person who was bringing it to light, everybody ain't like. That was Donald Trump. He was talking about everybody.
I mean, but no, really though. I mean,
but yeah.
we have been weaponized against ourselves and used and exploited through the mass
right.
media.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
streams.
That's
Definitely.
facts. And
That
so-
same
and-
instance of Miami, South Beach this past weekend. Like,
Yeah, they're playing the videos- well-
they exposed like.
Hold up. So they were saying that it was us. I didn't see none of the video, but I
It
heard
was
that
us.
It was us. That was. But we're usually not the ones down there in South Beach. This
Every time
of
I'm there, I was just
We
there.
was
There
there.
wasn't nothing but black.
Exactly.
We was
But this is
there,
the thing,
there's
so
no mask on.
It's consistently, there's no dog on dog crime that's promoted in mass media. Consider that your radio station is called a program for a reason. Your
Yes.
TV is called a program for
Yes.
a reason. There's no other species, not even race, species that you can see this much violence against in one
Its
setting,
own kind.
on one airwave, on one TV. Even the violence against black bodies from the police. It is all conditioning us to think that this is a normal way of being. And so if you see those images long enough, it becomes normal to you.
And
Okay.
I was just talking to somebody about this earlier today. Like our what we need to normalize is our conversations amongst each other about building each other up
Healing.
and not
Come on.
tearing each other down.
Right.
And it's like everybody's not gonna catch on from day one.
Yeah.
Everybody's not willing to build from day one.
Yeah.
But when they start seeing the movement, and it doesn't need to be televised.
All
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
And-
It's something that
Please
needs to be done
televise
behind
it.
closed doors.
Well,
If you look at Crawford at Large on my Instagram, I posted one of the NFL players was murdered, and the guy goes to the coaches. Why didn't the coaches check on him? Why didn't we check on him?
Oh, you talking about Vincent Jackson? I think it was.
Vincent Jackson.
Yeah, he
And-
actually killed himself or whatever. He died of alcohol poison or something like that.
And he and his teammates were sitting around like you guys, which is why I really love what you all are doing here just as men, because they were sitting around talking like, why aren't we checking on each other in real life?
Right.
And literally after that segment got up to hug each other and to say, man, we have to change things differently.
Yeah, actually,
Please
that's-
share your healing moments. I said this in an interview. Black men healing is what's going to change the paradigm for what's on our airwaves, what's on our news. And that is going to influence everything, how our families are stable, how our communities are being built. Black men healing is revolutionary.
Okay, so a couple things, right? There has to be a conversation about, in the meantime, until we get to that healing starts happening, right?
Wow.
How much do we let slide? Because sometimes, out of our dysfunction and out of our brokenness, we are committing some very heinous things against each other, right?
Well, the thing about it is,
So-
we have to let
a lot of things slide, right?
You gotta call it all out.
Initially.
But initially, we have to let a lot of things slide. But the thing about it is, you gotta build from whatever it is, and not build on the trauma. Not let that
override everything.
Yes, because most of the time we stop building because we let that take over.
Exactly, because so it's too young. It's
like
too.
what you said in the meantime, what are you
Call
doing?
it all out,
Right.
Pastor.
Because it's two young men
Ron, call it all out.
It's two young men from South Carolina who were down at South Beach in Miami.
Right.
They supposedly got arrested. They arrested, but they were
Oh, is that
supposedly
the ones who-
they drugged the girl and raped her, and she died in her hotel room.
Okay.
So they
were black as well?
black young men from South
Wow.
Carolina,
I
young
seen-
dudes.
I just seen the article, the headline, but it only showed like a white girl on there, and I just like, okay, well, I said, well, it ain't us.
The girl,
You know,
girl
that
was
my
white.
narrative.
I don't know what color the girl was, but they did say that she did die. So she got drugged and she got raped. Now, don't mean they did it, but they are accusing them of doing it. But I'm just saying that sometimes we are doing some things that is rough, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, how much do we call that out? Because again, I think once something like that happens, it's so polarizing. We call that, we speak on it. But it's funny because I think we're also conditioned to, when I see somebody, a young person, do certain things, now I start labeling all the young people.
Yes,
like that.
but see, we don't think about it. Just like you sent this to me too as well. I don't know if you've seen it, Sharice, as well, because I know you pretty much big on IG as well, with Roland Martin and the young brother.
I saw that.
From Alabama,
Yeah.
who actually Roland Martin called him stupid.
Exactly, because he made a statement that wasn't popular mainstream.
It wasn't popular at the time about voting and everything. And he's like, "Look,
Stop
I'm
waiting
not
on the
waiting
government
around for nobody else, our government
to do anything for us.
do anything
Do it
for us.
yourself.
I'm gonna do it myself."
And Roland Martin's trying to stress the importance of involving government in what you do. And it's like, government is important, right? But he's saying we can't sit around and beg the government to fix us.
Yes.
We have to begin somewhere.
Yes, we have to begin.
And he started
somewhere.
a school.
And the thing about it is, he started a school. Him and some brothers. They started a school, and not only did they start a school, they started a school bus. Not only did he start a school, did he have a school bus? He actually
Boarded kids into his house.
He actually got them out of the system and brought them into his
Yep.
house. And this young man is only 21 years old. And we are sitting up here acting like we need everything else. We got to have the latest shit about everything else. And we can't help one another. I mean, it's just like we got to change the narrative for ourselves. If we want to be better and we want better and we want to stop building everybody else up, we got to take care of our own.
Exactly.
And we got to check our own, too. Like
Yeah,
what
we
you
got to
said.
check our own. But the thing about it is, we can't let who we check outweigh what we're doing, and we keep letting
Good
who
point.
we check
Good point.
outweigh what
Which
we're
was a
doing.
young,
But
which was a
but
young
see,
dude's
that's the
point was
thing.
that we don't get up and do enough of our own.
Yes.
Get up and do it.
Right.
Let's begin.
The
You know.
thing about it is, if we change the narrative when we go out here and we say, look, like the brothers on the corner, you know what I'm saying? We know what they're doing, but we got to, the thing about it is, and I was talking to a young lady the other day, and she was talking about her boyfriend is he's hustling, and she trying to get him a job. I said, look, a job is never going to work for him, right? Because it's never going to pay him the money that he's making.
Exactly.
It's that one, you putting out there that he's already your boyfriend, one. So you already accepted what he's doing. Now you're trying to change this man to do something where it's not even going to bring him the income that he wants to see. But there are legal ways for him to understand. You just got to find a way for him to get to the legal side of making the money that you think
The
that
same money, right.
he wants to make. We keep thinking that our only way is a job and an education from a school system that's going to put us most in our debt, where we have 75% of the people of all races who go to school who never actually work in their fields.
I'm going
You
to
know
say
what?
that.
It's the thing that, like, Pastor, when he said in the meantime, a lot of times we just don't have patience. Like,
No, we don't. I'm guilty of that
You
as
know what I'm
well.
saying?
And because, like,
Okay.
you guys know me for, 25 plus years, right? I've always, I've had jobs and things like that, but I've always had a hustle as well on the side, right? I don't ever just push for one income, and I'm not always looking, just for one source of anything.
Right.
I'm always trying to get things, and my thing is a lot of things that I probably should have done, I probably stopped a little bit too soon because it wasn't happening fast enough. Because there was a time in my life I was used to things coming too fast.
Wow.
Well, you all know that I am a woman in policy. Let's start there. As a woman in policy, I am also a very active woman in my community.
Very.
So I'm going to applaud the young man
Very.
and every other person out there, because it is not that it's not happening. It's not that we are not stepping up on our own. For example, you guys came out to support us and supporting a young man family who was murdered by DC law enforcement.
Yes.
You all came to help us feed that family, and we brought coats and shoes and
Yep.
and we're going back to make sure that these kids have life insurance policies, and we're going to
Okay.
go back
That's
to
good.
make sure that they have trust funds established. But these are not the things that are sensational enough to make the mainstream
media, yeah.
conversations. So one, it's not if and, it's both and.
Right.
So my thing is, yes, we are taking all the resources that we have, we should be anyway, and there are plenty of us doing so, taking the resources that we have to figure out where do we make the biggest impact.
Right.
We are still disproportionately marginalized financially in the Black community, just based on the fact that we do not own the land, based on the fact that we were not able to pass down the houses and equity in the homes. There are still deeds to this day that Black people cannot purchase homes or lands in certain parts of this country. Okay, so this is not.
And a neighboring state as well.
So when I go to the Hill and I talk about our demand for reparations, and I talk about the mass incarceration and the war on drugs and the systemic dismantling of Black families and Black communities, this is not waiting for a handout. This is not looking for a hand up. This is the same debt that the government will come to collect if you or I die today owing the government money.
That is true.
So understand
There
that
you
we are
go.
also our own debt collectors in this case as well.
That-
So yes, to this young man, us building
his
our
thing,
schools,
yes,
us creating opportunities, us building unity and group economics.
Right.
It is
That
absolutely
is
necessary.
very empowering, and that's the narrative we need to control. Like everything you just said is important, right? But the thing about it is, we can't dwell on the negative side. We gotta bring more of the positive things of what we can do, because the thing about it is, we know the problems. We just gotta have solutions to help build the problems.
Oh, and I want to
that
salute
note-
to Dr. Sandy Darity. This is not dwelling. I want to be clear. We are claiming our rightful demand. This is a legal case. And if you had a legal suit for any case that it would be, you need to continue to stake your claim for justice,
Right.
period.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But just to say, and just to say, if it doesn't happen in the format that we
Then I'm
wanted
going to
have-
tell my kids what is owed to them.
Yeah, we're telling them, but we can't just dwell on that. We have to do something, because we can't just sit around. Just like,
Well, that's what he was trying to say in the meantime, but
no,
you-
Well,
no,
are we
no,
sitting
no, what
around
I'm
though,
saying-
Pastor?
no,
Are
no,
we
what I-
actively involved, and
No,
are we
what I'm
actively
saying is this.
engaging?
Just like in this past year, 365 plus days, right, that just happened, right? The government has given out 3 stimulus checks at 3 different times, right? And just to say, if you had no income, you could not just wait around for that and just be okay. Okay, so you have to find something else to do
In the meantime, like you
in the
said.
meantime, and you can't just sit around and wait for a check from the government and your family
And
starving
I don't
today.
think that
So you
anyone
guys-
is
we got-
claiming
we got-
that
we
though
got-
either.
Pastor still had his segment. We got 15 minutes left
Absolutely.
in the show. And I know you wanted to talk about what's on your mind, Pastor. I
What's
don't
on your
wanna say
mind,
it.
Pastor? Let's switch gears. I like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I guess we could try to switch gears or whatever.
Pass what
Talk
Yeah,
ready
but,
for
but,
that.
but you know that there's no claim to say that we're sitting and waiting, because we're not sitting and waiting. We're not sitting and
No, but
waiting.
some people
Oh
are.
my God, they back at it.
Yeah,
Pastor,
some
what's
people
your
are.
segment? What's your
Some
segment,
people are.
Pastor?
The segment's
Power
about
to the
sitting and
people.
waiting.
That's true.
What are you waiting on, Pastor?
I don't know what's more interesting. What should we talk about? Should we
You
talk?
said you want
I want to talk about
toxicity.
love and bringing the Black family together and
Yeah.
procreating.
I kind of don't want to talk about that now because of what we talked about. We talked about so much toxicity, right? I was going to talk about why we attracted to toxic sex, right?
hey, talk about it. I mean,
We
why
need
not?
to change the subject. So why?
Because how Ron wanted to change the subject.
What
He
is
was- he was
toxic
he was
sex?
being left out.
This is too
What
deep.
would be considered toxic sex?
I mean, when you can be like sexually attracted to somebody that you know is just bad for you.
Just, you know you ain't no good.
But the sex is good, right? That dysfunctional sex is just.
But how can that be? Only it can be toxic if you take it too personal. Like if you
you
not
in
get
love.
your feelings,
Yeah, you and your feelings.
or that can
Okay.
still be bad. Or no, what's bad for you is like if you sleep with somebody that's married in their house and their wife or husband come home anytime.
Or
Yeah,
you- Jackson.
That's not toxic. That's dangerous.
Stupid.
That's motherfucking.
That's
That's
stupid.
that's suicidal.
Suicidal.
so why do you continue to do it?
No,
That's
that's
murder, she
Russian
wrote.
roulette. That's Russian
It's a
roulette.
trauma.
Yeah, exactly. That's different. Yeah. I
So,
think,
but I think, but in a sense, what you were saying, it's toxic when you messing with a married man, knowing that he's married, and you feeling and you in love with him, like you that person that you know he's married, you know he's going home to his wife,
You know he's
and
not
yet
gonna leave
and yet you still,
Or-
well, you give him that commitment.
or listen.
You see what I'm saying?
Whenever think about this scenario, whenever a situation goes overboard and a woman snaps and just goes all out on a guy, or a guy snaps and does something very violent to a woman, right? And people be like, people will say, we always knew.
Something was off.
We always knew that something was off about this whole thing, whatnot. And it's funny that people all many times know that the person that they're dealing with is not really there all the way.
Right.
But there's something about
Crazy.
That-
Deranged.
that kind of.
But do you think that somebody can turn in to be crazy though? Like they can start off nice, but can you make a woman crazy?
No, once you crazy, you
I'm
crazy,
saying,
you
but I'm
can
saying,
hide
but
it.
can you
And
turn?
now,
But
you
can
have
you?
those traits already in you.
Oh, I see
No, I'm
what
saying,
you're
but can
Well,
you-
no, I see what
no,
you're saying.
but can you turn a
like,
woman-
If you ever watched the movie How Did I Get Married Too, when Janet Jackson went crazy? Now, originally, this woman was a person who always held
Had
it
together.
all
But,
together.
but,
And
but
then-
that was a facade she was
Oh,
putting
you
up.
go
that's
to-
what I'm saying.
That's
Or
exactly
you go to
what
a
it
deeper
is.
movie like that movie Tavaji
Y'all
Henderson played
talking
in.
about movies. Come on now.
No, I'm saying,
Let's
but
get to
remember the
reality.
movie. Okay, but it
Well,
might
I
be
don't
some
know no
reality.
crazy
Remember the
people.
movie she was in? Was
I'll
that?
share some
What was that
realities.
movie she was?
I mean, I don't know
when
what
she was married to a guy that
Yeah, I know.
he had a vision that he wanted to build this.
Oh, right. She believed in him.
Acrimony, was it called?
Yeah, acrimony.
Acrimony.
Yeah,
Was that
and he said-
acrimony?
Yeah, it was acrimony.
and he
yeah,
said,
yeah.
but she believed in him so much that he turned her crazy.
Well, he drove
No,
her
that wasn't
there
acrimony.
because
That was
because
acrimony.
she stood by him. She sacrificed with him.
She
helped
lost
him,
a lot
and,
over
and, and when he
because of-
got up, he basically like
No, but he gave her
No,
$10 million.
she left him when he got up.
Right before he got up.
Right before he got up.
exactly.
because she tied up, but then she became
Because she got tired of waiting around
For him to
the
blow,
thing-
and he
and
blew.
the thing about it is, it's not about that you got up, right? But you felt like you was owed something, and he gave you what you felt. He felt that you was owed, and then
10 mil.
some.
Yeah, 10
he gave
mil.
you 10 million,
And bought the
but you
house
was
back.
not happy with what he gave you because
no. She
wanted
wasn't
that-
happy. She
she
wanted him.
that man. She
that's
wanted
what
that-
I'm saying. She
No.
wanted this man.
Right.
And as I said, she was not happy
Okay,
with
so
what she gave him.
but that's a little off where we are.
I'll say
I'm
this.
talking about more so being attracted to trouble.
Yeah, I understand. I
Yeah,
understand that. But
yeah.
that's why I say you can't bring up movies.
Well, I'm saying, can you turn somebody crazy? But go ahead.
Here's
Yes, you
where
can.
here's what
Over
my
time, you
thinking
can.
is, and this is why I'm so adamant on restoring black families and black homes, because our first relationships with the opposite sex starts at home.
That's true.
And typically, man or woman, your level of toxicity is based on something that you were exposed to as a child, or at some point in your life up until that point.
But it's also and that's also comprised of your ability, your critical thinking skills.
I think,
your
yeah.
self awareness. All those things.
You
All
make
those
sense. Like my
factors.
wife tell me, like she say, because like me, I don't cook.
Mm-hmm.
I don't cook, never cook, because I never had to cook, because my sisters cook for me.
Your mama
and my
cook.
mother cooked for me. So I'm saying that was her thing.
Yeah.
I was
This
exposed
nigga
to.
never cooked.
So
I
here's
don't
the
cook.
thing: a man's relationship with any woman has everything to do with his relationship with his mother.
And
Let's
fam-
start right
and
there.
sisters.
If he hates his mother, has any disdain for his mom, has any resentment
Yeah. I
for
don't
his
agree
mom,
with that, though.
I don't agree with
so hear-
that.
So
I
hear
don't
me
agree
out.
with that.
It's not. I'm not the doctor, the clinical. So this is my perspective based on my assessment, and I like that Chris Rock says that you can tell based on your experiences. So what I'm giving is my experiences in dating and dealing with.
If he
with-
disdains
But she
any
makes
disdain for his
sense.
mother,
You make sense what you saying.
if he has any disdain for his mother,
if there's any any grandmother, mother, any woman that he first looked to for some type of love
and
support,
yeah.
encouragement, whatever that thing is, and this is man or woman, right? That is how he treats then every other woman in his life. As for women, I have cousins in my life who did not have the privilege of having a father in their life who loved them unconditionally without there being an exchange.
Yeah.
And so for women, if they have not experienced this unconditional love from a man, if all the men in their lives have only tried to get something from them and they have not been fully alerted of their worth, fully felt comforted, validated, supported, encouraged, and loved, then they are now attracted to the men that essentially raised them.
And that's the reason
However
why-
type of man that was.
That's why I don't understand why people don't take therapy so seriously, because that stuff can be treated.
It's
You know what I'm
awareness
saying?
first,
And
though.
once you're aware of it,
But most people are not aware of it.
That's the bigger problem.
Well, they don't want to accept it.
let's hear from the professional. How do
There we go,
Yeah,
Pastor.
Well,
You can assess my perspective.
Well, okay, I'll say this. I think it's maybe a little bit broader, right? In this sense, it's not just how they feel about the woman or man in their life. It is what they experience.
Yeah.
Those experiences, right? I had a good friend of mine whose father used to beat his mother. His blood father beat his blood mother. He used to watch her beat her. And we were talking about something, and it's funny because I always have these moments every now with my friends when we kind of like chilling, and they feel very open, and they just feel like they want to get it out in this moment, and they'll say it in one way or the other way. They say it, and I could tell that they have a release in just saying it out loud. But it makes so much sense when I look at how they act
Yeah.
towards women, right?
Yeah.
It's like the way they act towards women, it's kind of like a lot of it was based off of watching your father beat your mother. So you're kind of aggressive with women, not beating women necessarily,
Yeah.
but like you said, that abuse manifests in a different
Different
way.
way.
But you don't know how to really handle a woman, and it's off of experience,
Right.
not just out of nothing. But then you have men who
Do the opposite.
Who if their mother is super controlling, they can break in different ways. They can break in a way where they have to have a woman in their life that controls them. Or they disdain that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so any woman that says anything to them
Right.
remotely, they
Yeah, it's
snap
triggered.
on her.
But
yeah,
some,
exactly.
but some men, I say most men, I say half the men, I say they look at it different. Like they want to say, I don't want to raise my family like the way my father raised me.
Okay.
Or you know what I'm saying?
So to that point,
But a lot of
real quick,
ti-
to that
yeah.
point where they go to another extreme. Right, they go to that whole opposite extreme. They
Opposite
try
extreme.
to not be the antithesis of
they
everything.
not to
Father
be
was.
the opposite.
Yeah, but
father.
sometimes they try to be that, but then they end up being just
The
like
same
their father.
thing.
Yeah.
Like matter of fact, Prince even talked about it in his song. What was that joint? Was that
Purple Rain,
Purple? No, was it
Doves Cry.
Doves Cry? When Doves
Maybe.
Cry.
Yeah.
Just
So
like
the idea
my
is that if you're
father.
set in your way, you're set in your way. It don't matter whether it's on the left or the right.
Yeah.
When you're set in your way and nobody can tell you anything, and you can't even see how you're damaging the family unit, it's still the same thing.
That's why. Yeah, it seems like you're right. It seems like something like I tell like it's like a pattern. Like, and I always tell like, I'm not going to say the names because they probably listen to the show. But I'll be saying
So they know who they are anyway.
Right, well, I'm
so you
saying-
say their names.
But I just wish that
Hi, Ron.
I always say that the pattern should be broken. Like I try to tell like don't be like your father.
Awareness
you know what I'm saying?
is a
You know
big
what I'm saying?
factor.
Huh?
But
Yeah.
see, most people don't see. The thing about it is, awareness has to come from within.
Yeah.
Because see, right, you could tell me I'm doing something wrong,
And you don't
but if
see
I
it.
don't feel like I'm doing something wrong,
Yep.
I won't recognize it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And that's,
Okay, so let me tell you what's happening right there, because I think is helpful to understand, because I think a lot of people who are trying to be better or be different or shape up in some way don't really know how this all happens, right? So you have a conscious mind and then you have a subconscious mind, right?
Yeah.
Your subconscious mind, I call it your catch basin, right? It's in your heart. It's down beneath the surface. You're not aware of it. So when we talk about self-awareness, what we're really talking about is being able to comb through your subconsciousness, right? Being able to bring those issues up to the surface and deal with them, right? In your consciousness, like becoming aware of them and then dealing with them. Because if you don't, like you said, somebody could be telling you you are very disrespectful, and you'd be like, how?
Right.
Yeah.
Because subconsciously you are disrespectful, but you're not aware of it, right? So it's playing out in your behavior, even though you are completely oblivious of it. Like, I'm
Because
not
it-
angry.
But
They be
because,
like, yo.
yeah, because see that's the toxicity that you see that you don't see within you.
Yeah,
and we
that's-
all have toxicity.
that's
Okay,
it. Like,
so
like you can be vain.
just
and
a
not
quick
know
note on being toxic. I think it's important that we use that word like with a scalpel, right?
Yes.
Like I can be toxic, but I'm not toxic, and I
Yeah.
think that's important because it's
true.
hard to raise a people's level of self-respect up if we label them as toxic. Whether
Fair.
you can be toxic, but you're not toxic.
Yeah.
And I think when your subconscious is playing out dysfunctions that are in you, that's like, I kind of call it a glitch.
And I'll just say, there's been times where
You're
I
being
have
toxic
behaved in
in
a
a
way
moment.
where I had to be like, oh, I was the toxic friend. Let me go and address myself
Yeah.
and
yeah.
correct that and engage and say, let me, I've offended you or I've done you wrong. Let me apologize. Let me be authentic about my transgression.
I'm big on apologize.
But people
what
also
I'm saying?
date
If
two
I-
things. People date at the level of their esteem. So if they are feeling in themselves unworthy of anything, invalidated for any reason, they are also projecting those things and attracting those things in who they date.
True.
As well. So these are things that we have to consistently be evaluating. And I'm going to ask, what is it? A psychologist? They say mental health therapist. Is it a psychologist? Who would they go talk to about these kinds of things?
Yeah, psychologist.
I mean, you want to go to a psychologist, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Typically, I mean, there are therapists and counselors out there that can take you to certain levels. But this is the thing. I don't think it's like one counselor can do it because
No.
literally counselors can get 10
It's
patients.
it's
a
actually
process.
ongoing process.
Yes,
It is.
throughout your life.
Because a counselor can have
And
10
that's okay.
10 to 20 patients and be working with them for years.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
figure
So
it out,
it's not like you actually.
And also don't think that
'Cause-
that you have to stay with that one counselor because
Yeah.
you may outgrow that counselor.
Yeah, exactly.
Because their scope of work may be at one
Absolutely.
level and you may be at another level.
Exactly.
And
what
let's
it
make
sound
sure
like,
to know it's
unfortunately,
okay.
Unfortunately, y'all, we run out of time. But it sounds like to me, and I could be wrong, like, let's say, like, when you have, like, mental health issues, sort of like that, they're treatable, but they're not cured. You can't cure them. You understand what I'm saying?
We all have mental health issues.
Well, cure is not the right word, but healing is.
Yes.
You can heal.
You can
That's
heal.
a good way to put it.
Or
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah,
cope with
yeah.
it.
Because healing,
then you change
healing,
the way
healing
that
is
you
healing
react.
is a form of healing is for us a form of correction, right? Where
Absolutely.
we've corrected the issue, and to say cured, cured suggests that it's taken care of, it's done away. You can be healed or whole and be broken,
Absolutely.
or be broken again,
Yes,
or be
and the
broken
thing-
differently.
And
you
the thing
know?
about
So I like
healing
this.
is healing needs to be constant.
Yeah.
Cured means like you're
over.
you're at the highest plateau you can actually
Well,
be at,
healing,
and
healing
you're
is
gonna stay there.
Healing is definitely a process,
I love it.
but
Guys,
you
We
definitely
ran
don't
out
want
of
to.
time. You always pull the great ones when we.
Let's
almost
all
forget
heal
you.
together.
But anyway,
We
y'all-
actually can go.
Yo,
over
shout
sometime,
out
but,
to
you know.
brother Roland Stewart. I'm gonna put his information. He does a yoga class that he told me to promote out today. It's $7. It's virtual. It's gonna be a great class. I'm just
Okay.
doing it.
I love it.
It's helping.
You gonna
maybe
post it on
I'm
Open
gonna post
Bar?
it on the open bar. It's only $7 to do the class. It's a virtual class first till the COVID is over. Then you're gonna come back and do it. But it's black people doing yoga, which you don't see that much. So
No,
pretty
nowadays you do, especially in the
Nowadays.
city.
And this Friday, we're honoring women too in Southeast DC. Look for the Kings honoring queens at the Creative School, which I'm a new board member of, and so
Nice.
we're
Okay.
taking your portraits to
what's up,
honor
girl. You
queens.
doing-
So I'm looking
Yeah. You
forward
doing
to
big
that.
things.
And thanks
man.
again to
That's
Miss
it.
Yendi, who she really
Shout
turned
out
it
to Miss
y'all.
Yendi, yeah.
It's
Miss
her
Yendi.
information up.
She gave us a treat.
Yo,
Hit the
thank you to
road,
our
Jack.
Our engineer did his
Ophelia,
thing
yeah,
today.
thank you, man. He
He's
worked
doing
so
his
hard,
thing.
man.
He
He worked
works
very
really
hard.
hard.
Stayed late with us tonight.
Right.
Congratulations.
We apologize for that, brother.
Happy Women's
it-
History Month.
Yeah, happy
Yes.
women's. And thank you to the owner of the LeBurn. Yo,
Cheers
did
to
your
you,
thing.
Pastor.
Yes, yes.
Yo, we had a really deep show. Thank you guys
Gotta
for
do
listening.
something about these cups, though.
I know. We'll have our real cups next time. I'm sorry.
If you want to
Salud.
go to a studio who got some coffee cups, come to the LeBaron.
And
Salud.
actual classes in this place.
Yo.